Hey there everyone, Nubkeks here, and welcome back to our unranked draft learning session where we bust out a hero that I haven't played in ranked, or have not played much in ranked, and take them for a spin, see what we can do with them, and kind of learn together about that hero and how they're played. In today's episode, we are going to be busting out Samuro here on Blackheart's Bay. Samuro is in a super interesting spot, in my opinion, at the moment. A super interesting spot. And the reason is that if you look at just the game in general, if you look at the win rates for all leagues combined, Samuro is the #1 hero right now by actually a fairly reasonable margin. He is #1. He's also incredibly popular. So for most of you guys, you'll be coming into this going, man, Samuro, I hate Samuro. He's played all the time. He wins all the time. He's just a nightmare to deal with. I hate this guy so much. However, when you filter for the highest level of play, so Master League, Samuro's win rate drops considerably. He's actually kind of like in the middle of the pack at the moment. And in fact, his overall win rate in the game, combining all the leagues, is 55.8%. When you search for it by Master alone, his win rate is only 53%. So it's actually lower in Master, which, again, whenever that happens with a hero, that's a really interesting thing, because generally speaking, win rates at Masters are higher, because, as I say this probably in most of these unranked videos, I think, at this stage. Master players, they generally win against Diamond level players a bit more than often than not. But then there's no higher grouping of there's no higher MMO bracket from Hotslogs than the Master, so there's no bracket that they tend to lose to. Same thing with poor old bronze people. You know, they have silver who they tend to lose to more than they win against, but there's no one that poor bronze people tend to beat, so the win rates in bronze are always by far the lowest, usually. Anyway, Samuro, he's in a pretty interesting spot. Something that also is worth bearing in mind, I think, for this high level play, is I noticed when I was looking at him, we are going to be running Illusion Master in today's game, by the way. This will be an Illusion Master Samuro, and then I'll be showing you what I feel are kind of like the standard sort of talents for Samuro apart from that at high level, and then I will also be showing you how to play him on Blackheart's Bay in particular. We'll come to his maps in a second, but there is, I think, I didn't use it in this game. I kind of forgot about it, but I remembered afterwards. I think there is at the moment a bug with with Illusion Master, where if you self-cast it, I think you Alt and Or, it fully heals all of your images. So yeah, there is a bug there, and I think that might be part of what's boosting his win rate at higher levels, where people might be more aware of the bug and more willing to exploit it. Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say. Potentially people are just getting a bit more used to his playstyle. But yeah, do bear that in mind, that there is a bug with Illusion Master at the moment, which might be making him a little bit more effective, but I don't think that will affect his win rate too much really in the lower leagues, certainly. I don't think it will affect it too much in general, but it is just something to note. Don't know exactly what the effect will be, but certainly he's a decent enough hero, even when you take that away. He is very map dependent, I feel. I think there are, let's say, his 3 main maps, I think, in my opinion, are going to be Towers of Doom, Blackheart's Bay, and Sky Temple. So we're going to see the Blackheart's Bay version in today's video. Basically, maps where there's plenty of merc camps. Taking merc camps is important. Oh, Battlefield of Eternity is also very strong. And Dragonshire might not be bad either, I suppose. Just looking at these win rates here. But yeah, sorry, I forgot about Battlefield of Eternity, of course. That is probably, in theory, maybe his best map. Yeah, I'd say Battlefield of Eternity, Towers of Doom, Blackheart's Bay. If I was picking 3, those are the 3 I'd pick. I mean, he's not terrible on some of the other maps. He can do okay. But Samuro's great strengths, as you're going to see in this, he's fantastic at taking out merc camps. He absolutely shreds through them very quickly and with no HP loss, or almost no HP loss to himself. So Blackheart's Bay, obviously there's tons of merc camps, so we're going to be farming in this game, and he's very good at doing that. Towers of Doom, you can take the sappers, you can even take some of the riskier sappers to take, push in. Sky Temple is not bad on, you can solo off the temples fairly easily. Then Battlefield of Eternity, obviously where he's most well known for, is you can put out just phenomenal damage onto the Immortal, one of the highest damage dealers to the Immortal in the entire game. I'm not sure after the nerfs if he's still #1, or I don't know how he compares to like Greymane or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but he's certainly like way up there, no doubt about it. He also, on these maps, another thing I think that you can see is that they're good maps for getting flanks, for getting surprises on the enemy team. And that's what Samuro kind of brings. He brings great sustained damage, which is fantastic, especially against like merc camps and stuff like that. He's not very good at laning at all. He's not very good in a straight up team fight, but he's great when you get a great flank off. And he's cool for doing this like tricky sort of stuff like that, kind of surprising and disrupting the enemy team. It would be quite unusual, certainly at high levels, for Samuro to be top damage. I'd be shocked if he was. He should not be doing anywhere near as much damage as like a solid ranged assassin will be doing, for the most part. I would not expect that to be the case at all, because it ought to be quite difficult to actually get in and get those attacks off. You can see I am going to be solo laning the bottom lane in this particular matchup. He might do okay here at the start of the game. Certainly you're not looking to solo lane a Samuro at all into the later part of the game. Or like in a sort of standard solo lane situation. If you're up against something like Thrall or Chen or Alarak, you are going to get fairly wrecked. Fairly wrecked. So watch that out. Luckily we're up against Varian, who's rubbish solo laning as well. So that works out quite nicely for us. Can't complain too much about that. So he's trying to do a bit of damage to this Varian. He obviously knows which clone is which now. Which one is the real Samuro, which one is not. But as you see, this actually works out really nicely on Blackheart's Bay. You pop your first mirror images, you push down the wave, and then the cooldown comes off right in time for picking up that camp. And great, you get a chest pretty early, pretty quickly, no problem whatsoever. And hey, your images even come down and start clearing out the next wave. So it's just win-win, really. Win-win. Nothing to complain about here. Just gonna run around in stealth a little bit, just scaring this Varian away. So our teammates are rotating down. This will be kind of effective, but I don't really feel like there's any big gank opportunities on the Varian, but we have caught some of his teammates in rotation down to help him out and try to gank me. So nice work by our teammates finding them and picking off that kill right there. I'm going to turn in these coins, and at this point I'm going to transition into playing jungle Varian and just taking those out. By the way, level 1 I went for Way of the Blade as my talent, which it makes our critical strike, which is our trait. You can see in the bottom left, we have this little flaming sword that builds up. Whenever that hits, it does a big chunk of bonus damage. It will happen every 3rd basic attack now, as opposed to every 4th. And it will also do an additional 25% for basic attack damage. I just think it's a really nice ability overall. Big fan of that one. I'm going to pop my images and start working on the siege camp. Very important when you are doing these merc camps, to have your mirror images tank them as much as possible. Unfortunately, both of those siege giants were hitting one mirror image. I think it would be more ideal if you could have one hitting each one. Obviously, their placement is somewhat random, somewhat based on luck. It's not the end of the world. Certainly, I think if we had had one siege giant hitting one mirror image each, we would have finished off that camp a little bit quicker and had our mirror images off cooldown. Doesn't matter too much, but that's just something to bear in mind. As Samuro, you have no self-healing. You're completely reliant on regen globes or your healer. So it's very important when you're taking these merc camps that you do not tank the merc camps with Samuro himself. Your mirror images, by the way, their HP scales off your current HP. So if you're on half HP, your mirror images will have half HP. They're going to be significantly weaker. So you definitely do not want them to be tanking. You do not want to be tanking anything yourself. You want the mirror images to take the damage. They're completely disposable. Because it will just sort of snowball against you. If you take damage, it will start to snowball against you. If you're at half HP, your mirror images have half HP, you're gonna have a tough time. Enemy team trying to come in here. We're gonna focus fire on to the Tychus. Tychus goes down. Gonna turn around now and start working on this Varian as well. He is going to escape, but we get a little bit of bullying pressure on him and back off. Your mirror images, if they get shot by a structure, they do die in one hit, including the core, including towers, including everything. So they're not good at you certainly cannot use them to tank up any structures or anything like that. I'm going to make my way to the bruiser camp right now and solo that out very, very quickly. At level 4, I did pick up Mirage. So whenever I use Mirror Image, it will grant myself and my clones, you'll see that little graphic around them, 2 charges of spell block, which will reduce the next enemy ability by 50%. I think it's just a really useful thing to have overall. I think that's generally speaking going to be the most useful thing you can grab. In this game, they have a Li Ming, so I kind of figured, you know what? I think Mirage will still be the go-to. I was considering not taking it. I thought, you know, Tychus does a fair bit of basic attack damage. Zarya does a lot of basic attack damage. Varian does quite a lot of basic attack damage too. Though his trait, if he goes for the Twin Blades, his trait does a lot as well. But yeah, they've got a lot of basic attacks, so I was definitely considering picking that up as an option. Gonna go into stealth right here. Come behind the Varian, and then start beating on him. Come around the other side. Actually made a mistake here, though it didn't end up being too important. But you can see we actually gave Varian a target to charge to, which almost helped him escape. So do bear that in mind. You want to be careful about doing that. Not giving him something to escape to. But, what was I talking about? I forget what I was talking about. I was talking about something important. Oh yeah, Mirage in this particular game. So another option at level 4 would be deflection. So whenever our advancing strike, basically whenever we're attacking a hero, we take 25% reduced damage from basic attacks. That would have been really, really good in this game as well. I decided though to go for the Mirage in the end. I just figured, I thought about it and I figured, you know what? If we block like a big arcane orb from Li Ming with our mirror images, I think that's just going to be the most useful thing. If Varian goes Colossus Smash, it's going to help us survive that burst as well. It's going to block maybe a Tychus grenade, something like that. You know, it might be shredded through by like Disintegrate from Li Ming, or it might be just like a Q from Zarya, and it won't get much value, but maybe it will get value, maybe it will be fantastic. So I think it's worth just giving it a spin, even just for that. So that's kind of my thoughts right there. Level 7 picked up Burning Blade. Our crits will do a Burst of Flame, doing an additional 65% of our basic attack damage to the target and nearby enemies. This is like your Wave Clear and Merc Clear level 7 talent. I think it's just the most useful overall because it does give you that extra sort of clear, and it's going to give you... The damage won't be that much lower, honestly, than the other options in terms of the team fights, so I do go for Burning Blade pretty much all the time. Then at level 10, we did pick up Illusion Master. What this does, it increases the damage of our images by an additional 10%. By default, they do 30% of your damage. They'll now do an additional 10%. So they'll do 40% of our damage. So 30%, a third more damage output, really, relative to what the images would normally be doing. I think that's how that works, which is obviously going to be very useful on Blackheart's Bay, where we're going to be jungling a lot, and that extra damage output from our images is going to be a pretty big deal. You can see I was getting hit by that merc, so I just move a bit to the side so I don't take too much damage. One thing that you can do, and that I forgot you can do, but I can tell you guys now, is that the activatable part of Illusion Master, I do use that, but there's a few uses to it. It has 6-second cooldown, and we can swap places with a mirror image. This does fully heal your mirror image. So, for example, on that merc camp right there, I could have swapped one image and used that to be a bit more effective. Basically just heal it up to full health, no problemo. I forgot you could do that, so I don't actually ever use the Illusion Master active to swap and heal my images, so sorry about that. First time playing this, I think, on live servers, so there you go. Stuff to be learned. I'd say certainly this will be, hopefully I'll be giving you a good insight into sort of like the kind of just the basics of playing Samuro, but not maybe like advanced mirror image stuff. I won't really be showing you in this game. It's certainly difficult to control them, but you can make a bit of use. You can see I'm using one of them to just scope things out right here at the moment. Considering about whether to go in, we have been sort of outmanned right here, so I'm just gonna... I'd sent the other one up towards this bruiser camp, which I wanted to take, and there you go, we actually swapped to that mirror image. We arrive as the bruiser camp spawns, and fantastic. Tychus thought we were engaging quite hard right there. He threw down the laser, and we just, hey, went, alright, cool, Illusion Mastered out of there. They got a turn in, but it's not the end of the world. And we just go over and finish off this bruiser camp, tearing through it in short order. One of the quickest clears you can get in the bruiser camp. It's really, really nice. Gonna swing down here to the bottom then. You can also clear out structures. Like, you can burn down a fort pretty quickly if you've got minions to tank the fort instead of your mirror images. That can be pretty good. Varian is just wrecking people. That actually worked out. Oh, unfortunately, Li Ming dies. That worked out somewhat in our advantage there, at least for a little bit, because that Void Prison actually saved Li Ming, and Varian was not actually inside it. Melf Twilight Dreams his own team, unfortunately, which isn't super ideal. But right at the moment, you can see sort of the weakness of Samuro. We're in this sort of like a sort of in a straight up team fight, we're actually having some troubles. Without Tyrael here, we're having a lot of troubles. Varian goes in quite hard, and we're able to focus him down pretty well. He did not, or should not have gone in that much. Tassadar does save the Li Ming and keeps her alive. And yeah, that's okay. Fast rotate. Again, Tyrael was focusing on the top lane, which is what made that so bad. And then Li Ming and Malf the Twilight Dream not helping out too much. Taking a peek there, but really not in a good position to actually fight those guys and contest. Just going to come here and clear this out. Now, one of the tips I have for playing with Illusion Master, let's talk about that, some of the things you can do. The number 4 button will take control of everyone. Then the number 1 will take control of you. Number 2 will take control of the number 2 one. Number 3 take control of the number 3 one. You probably want to use number 4, the 4 key, to control everyone at once. They will also mount up at this stage as well, which is cool. So you'll mostly be using the 4 button to control people. And you can see me when I switch to send them in sort of different directions, just kind of scout out, get places to swap to. Scouting out with this number 2 over here. Number 3 scouting out as well. The images are about to expire, so just getting some vision information while that's going on. Setting number 3 that away. Setting number 2 that away. And number 1 is over here. While you're doing merc camps, I think you can move, use the number 1 key. Get number 4. Press number 4, get them all to focus. Say one of the siege giants, just take them out as quickly as possible. And then use your number 1 button to relocate your main Samuro to make sure you're not taking too much damage from the actual the merc camps that you are fighting. So repositioning yourself. Also, you're going to use the number 4 key a lot. That's the main thing you'll use with this. The number 4 key, you'll use that to like focus down say particular heroes as well. So for example here you can see I send in number 2 first, so he's going to tank up the damage. This would be a pretty good opportunity as well for using number 3 is just kind of scouting out their siege camp. They're not doing it, that's good. And yeah, that would be a pretty good opportunity when we're only doing the camp with 1 mirror image. That's going to be tanking a lot of damage, so we could use our Illusion Master to swap with it and heal it back up. That would be a pretty good opportunity. Coming up here now, sending number 2 around to sort of scout things out. Again, the duration is almost expired, so it's more a distraction than anything else. Once again, I don't think Twilight Dream hit anything right there, which is a bit of a mistake. Gonna start focusing down this Varian who has come in here kind of hard. Number 3 reappears. Hello, welcome back. Gonna go into our illusion and start making our way back over. Controlling and sending everyone through. We are kind of low on health, but this... oh, yeah. She's definitely out of position. That's sorry. She does get taken out. And now we are considering diving this team. Nice Void Prison there. Not too bad. The roots not aimed too well, honestly. Place them under the Void Prison so that they get rooted immediately as they come out. But it's enough to take out the Tychus. Unfortunately, Li Ming does finish off Zeratul. We pick up the coins as he dies, and we're going to back off at this stage. With 2 enemy heroes dead, actually, and knowing that they're fairly low, and we've got this big pressure on the bottom lane, I'm actually going to come in here and try to steal their siege camp away. A little bit of a risk, perhaps, but I think it'll work out okay. While we're doing that, let's talk about our talents. Level 13 and 16. I went for Shikuchi, level 13, so Windwalk, our E, will teleport us a short distance. Really useful. And then level 16 picked up Harsh Winds. Whenever we attack a hero from that stealth, from our Windwalk, they will take 30% more damage from myself and my images for 3 seconds. So that's going to be a nice damage increase overall. You can see I'm using my images here to dismount heroes, slow them down. We actually managed to get a turn in while that's going on. Pop our Windwalk there with Shikuchi. Considering going in with the enemy team is there, our team retreats, their team retreats as a group, so we're not going to stay for too long. These talents really activate once you get to level 20, and then you can pick up Wind Strider, which knocks 6 seconds off the cooldown of Windwalk. So every 6 seconds, you can activate Windwalk, which will put you into stealth. It will teleport you forward a little bit, and then when you hit a hero, it will improve the damage of yourself and your mirror images against that hero by 30%. So this becomes, see, later in the game, Samuro becomes insanely strong at just diving through the enemy backline, being massively disruptive. There's very little the enemy team can do. For example, here, we're going to use our Windwalk, just kind of scout it out a little bit, see what we can do. We have 10 coins, so we're going to send the mirror images to kind of scout it out. We got 1 on the bridge, we got 1 at the other point. We're just going to sit here and just kind of zone these guys out, just delay them, slow them down, make sure to dismount any heroes coming through here so that they can't get to us. Meanwhile, our main Samuro, we have queued him up to mount up. He mounts up while we were running interference with our mirror images. So that's a nice little trick you can do to slow the enemy team down, stop them getting to you while you turn in coins. Pretty nice little trick on Blackheart's Bay. I was trying to Sakuchi over this wall, and it doesn't work. I think you can Sakuchi over smaller walls, but they nerfed the range of it in the nerf patch. So obviously you can't do that one anymore. I don't know exactly what walls you can do, but yeah, bear that in mind. You can do some walls. So this is pretty good. We're just going to come in here on this Zarya. We're just going to burst her down despite her having her shield on. We just melt through her. That is the damage, the burst damage of those harsh winds. That level 16 talent, 30% more damage than the focus fire. And yeah, it's pretty good. Basically, the combo we want to do, we want to activate Windwalk. We ideally, not the best VP, and not the best VP ring combo, did not work out, but we get the kill on the Tychus anyway, which is pretty good going. We've been healed up, so we're able to re-engage. We take out, who is that? Was that Zarya? I think it was Zarya. No, she was already dead. Someone else. I didn't quite see. I wasn't paying attention because I was thinking about explaining stuff. The basic combo, once you got this level 16 talent, is you're gonna activate Windwalk. Ideally, you want to run behind an enemy hero. Hit them with a basic attack. That will trigger your harsh winds. At that point, you want to press Q, pop your mirror images. As soon as they pop out, you want to press 4, grab control of all of them, and then right-click on the hero, and then use your W as well. What this will basically do is, so you'll run behind an enemy hero, you hit them, trigger the harsh winds, instantly get your mirror images out. Because you are behind the enemy hero, the mirror images will be in a good spot to get maximum value. Basically, you kind of spawn, you split into 3, and it splits you kind of randomly which way you're going to go when you activate mirror image. But if you're behind the hero, that sort of the animation of it spawning will leave you in a good position. So when they try to back off, when they try to run away, you're still going to be in a pretty good position to get on top of them. Then you press forward to select them all and make sure all your mirror images are focusing that target, and there you go, kablam, you're going to be doing a whole ton of damage to that hero. That's basically the name of the game right here. Then basically you're going to be using, once you picked up Windstrider at level 20, you're incredibly powerful because you can just do a little teleport and go into stealth every 6 seconds. Massive mobility in the team fight, massive protection for yourself as well, dodging stuff, kind of staying stealthy. It's all good, man. It's all good. Letting those mirror images tank up these dudes. Don't want to tank them myself. Just got to pop into stealth just to try to ensure we got the regen globe. Actually ended up taking more damage from the splash of the siege shine, so it didn't really work out in our favor. But yeah, you can also start using your Sakuchi to sort of travel around the map pretty quickly. It's pretty good. Pop into stealth. I'm going to reposition to make sure I'm not taking too much damage from this merc camp. Was not the smoothest rotation there. We took a few extra hits that we did not need to take. But oh well. We need to be kind of quick here because Tastar is there. Going to pop into stealth and just try to scare him off a little bit. One thing that can be worth doing if you do find yourself on like half health as Samuro, you don't really want a Hearthstone, run over to your healer and like ping for help, get a heal, and then go back to doing your merc camps or to ganking heroes or what have you. This Zarya is a little bit out of position. We can certainly look into taking her out. There you go. We did not get into a super position. You can see our mirror images. We're not able to get on top of her, but we kind of need to be quick in that situation because the enemy team was nearby. So would have loved to get behind her. Didn't quite work out though, but yeah, it's going to be okay. Once again, kind of taking a peek at these guys. Going to turn in these coins, just get rid of them. Actually going to pop mirror images and then send these guys around. I'm actually going to send them up to the top lane, the top chest here, and take control of the main Samuro. Go grab this bottom chest. Tyrael actually goes down. Our teammates are fighting. Not the best fight. They are kind of a man down. I wanted to teleport up to those guys near the top. Did not quite manage it though. Going to send one mirror image around. Just going to use both of these mirror images to try to take out this Tychus. Look at the damage. That's obviously a Zeratul helping us as well. I'm just going to get out of there. Not interested in staying too much longer. Unfortunately, Zeratul does go down. But we did some damage to the Tychus. Scared him away, I guess, a little bit. I'm going to come up here now and grab this chest of 5 coins. Obviously, we didn't see what happened with the VP Ring of Frost, but from what Jaina was saying, it must have gone wrong, unfortunately. We're going to grab this. We're pretty safe. With the talents that we have, with our Windwalk talents, we're very safe for doing this. But yeah, it was not a great position to go in, unfortunately. Gotta send our mirror images down the lane as we Hearthstone. It doesn't really matter. Gotta be pretty careful now. We're carrying 12 coins, which is a lot. So we don't want to run up and just start hitting this bruiser camp. They could be there. They could kill us. We're gonna scout stuff out with our mirror images. That's the name of the game. We actually find... Oh, minions actually find Varian.
Looks like your foe beat you to it.
It's gonna port up here. And looks like they have backed off. We can see they've gone back to base. Their core is actually dying to catapults. So, yeah, down to 38%. They almost lost the game there, and if you hadn't noticed. So we're just going to use this opportunity to come over, burn through this bruiser camp, get that pushing. That's like another win condition. Pushing down that lane, another ticking time bomb. We're going to then sort of swing down here, try to get a turn in ourselves with the... We're now carrying 14 coins, I do believe. Which would be a pretty big deal for us. If we catch anyone in that position, such as this Tychus is in a dodgy spot. Not sure what he's doing. Hello, friend. There we go. Get him. Perfect. He does have bob and weave, so he gets out of there with 3 little dashes, unfortunately. Not much we can do about that. Nice, actually, Sank comes down in a nice ring of frost. We focus down the Zarya. Zarya is dead. Rest in pieces. Malfurion! After the game, I was like, dude, I think Malfurion thought I was on the enemy team. He kept using Twilight Dream on me. He's so scared of playing against Samuro that he keeps hitting me with the Twilight Dream. That was hilarious. Bless him. Bless him. Anyway, I'm going to come in, turn in these coins right here. We've got a lot of coins. And, yeah, this should win us the game. Nice VP. That's going to secure the win. Easy peasy. Ending in style. Ending with a stylish VP. We're going to come in with our Windwalk and try to find someone. Maybe get a kill at the end of this game. Might not work out. Varian has spotted us. Oh, Teslar helped him spot us. That's okay. Gonna Sakuchi in on top of him. Boom. Nice burst damage. He pops his parry because he's a jerk. But Zeratul finishes him off with a cleave. So very nice. Oh, rep Jaina. Unfortunately, the core is going to go down before we can do any more fun things. We're just going to hit the core. Help it along its way. Oh, we could have killed... Maybe we could have killed Li Ming there. That's a bit of a pity. But yeah, guys, there you go. Some little tips for Samuro and how to play Samuro on Blackheart's Bay. Again, one of his best maps, really exploiting his merc taking capabilities to the absolute max. And then also... I do think this is his best talent build. Again, we'll go over it right here at the end. But yeah, basically, you're going to be focusing on sort of like the wave clear and merc clear at the start of the game, because we actually captured 19 merc camps during the match. Similar players did 10.1. 10.1 is still insanely high. I know with other heroes, you'll sometimes get this and be like, you captured 3 merc camps. Well, similar heroes capture 2. So yeah, it's a lot of merc camps. Certainly being on Blackheart's Bay does help us along. But as you can see, like our damage against heroes was not the highest in this game. So that's fine. Illusion Master, Shikuchi, Harsh Winds, Wind Strider. That is the talent builds. I didn't get to read out the level 1 to 7 one. So we got Wave the Blade, Mirage, and Burning Blade. I think this is a pretty standard Samuro build. I like Illusion Master on Blackheart's Bay. It's not a bad heroic by any means. I think Bladestorm is also very good. I think you've got a number of options there. Basically, you got a number of options in terms of what you want to go for. But this is sort of, in my opinion, the standard Samuro build. It kind of doubles down on your merc taking capabilities and your lane pushing capabilities in the early game. And then transitions into actually a pretty nice team fighting build, or at least boosting your team fighting capabilities by building into Windwalk then in the late game. Shikuchi, Harsh Winds, and then Wind Strider, as you saw, helps you so much. The mobility is such a big deal. I think like at high level play, certainly this is undoubtedly the way to go. I can't speak for lower leagues, where obviously Samuro is the top win rate. You're going to have a bit of a different playstyle, but I think for high level, this is the sort of, roughly speaking, the playstyle that you want to go for. If you do want to check out as well, I have another video of Samuro in Hero League actually, which was actually just before he was nerfed. So he is a little bit stronger in that video than he is in his current form. He just does a bit more damage. But that is actually a Bladestorm game of Samuro on Battlefield of Eternity. And we did some pretty cool things with Uther doing Divine Shield while I went in for Bladestorm. It was one of those nice situations where we actually ran into a viewer in the game who was on Uther, and he's like, oh, Nubkeks, just go in, I'll divine shield you, it'll be great. And we did, and it worked out really nicely. So you can go check that one out on the channel as well. That could be a pretty cool insight into Samuro. Now, obviously, again, he will do a little bit less damage than he right now than he did in that video, but it should still give you a pretty cool insight into the sort of the Bladestorm playstyle and the Battlefield of Eternity playstyle. But yeah, I think these are the strengths of Samuro. I think at high levels, he's not the best. He's okay, right? He's just okay. He's not a big damage dealer, not in the team fights. I mean, if you want to do like a team fight sort of sustained melee assassin, you want to be going for Illidan, in my opinion. I think Illidan is still the best, and probably at top level will always be the best for the foreseeable future anyway. I think Samuro, what he brings, his particular strengths is fantastic merc taking capabilities. He's really, really good. Huge damage output against neutral objectives. He brings some cool sneaky ganks and disruption with his mirror images and his stealth. He's a really fun hero. He's really awesome. Very unique. I like him a lot. You can do some cool things. He also can push lanes very quickly. He can push down forts as well, incredibly quickly as well, if he has minions with him or mercs with him to absorb the turret shots so that the towers don't just one-shot his mirror images. If you're able to keep them alive, if the forts are shooting something else, you will tear through those forts as well. So you can do some pretty cool like split pushy type things with Samuro, with your Windwalk, keeping you safe. He's definitely got unique stuff going on, and he's pretty interesting. I imagine in lower leagues and stuff that you might just be more of a straight up team fighting hero, whereas that obviously won't work as much in the higher levels. Heroes like Kel'Thuz and Arthas, I think, who are kind of unpopular at the moment, but they're particularly good against Samuro. Anything that kind of exploits the fact that does good AoE damage, or exploits the fact that there are multiple heroes around the place. So like obviously Living Bomb from Kel'Thuz works really well against the mirror images because it spreads even more between them and does a whole bunch of bonus damage. Or then Arthas with his slows and stuff can really lock down Samuro, make his life difficult. Yeah, hopefully that was an insight in how to play him and the basics of using Illusion Master. Scouting out with your illusions, using them to swap out of bad situations, and then using that 4 key to take control of all of them and focus them onto the target, especially once you pick up Harsh Winds at level 16 and you're going to be doing 30% more damage against the hero that you hit when you come out of Windwalk. And sort of then the Windwalk and Focus Fire, Illusion Master Focus Fire combo that you can pull off with this build. That is Samuro. Very fun hero to play, very cool. Menace at lower levels. It's still like a decent solid pick at top levels as well. But focusing in on that particular niche, on Blackheart's Bay, on Battlefield of Eternity, and then even Towers of Doom, anywhere we can get off flanks and where there's nice neutral objectives for you to take out. Thanks for watching, everyone. Give it a thumbs up if you liked the video and found it helpful, and I will see you all next time for more Heroes of the Storm. Bye bye.